Hello everyone, and welcome back to FunFact. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic: the top 15 most powerful people in the Philippines in 2025. And the one who might lose it all. Power, influence, control. In the Philippines, it's not just about who's rich, famous, or in office. It's about who pulls the strings, shapes the nation, and holds the fate of millions in their hands. Some rule from the halls of power, others from the boardrooms of billion-dollar empires. Some dominate the streets, the media, and even the internet. But only 15 people can make it into our prestigious, highly coveted list of the most powerful figures in the country today. And trust me, this year's list, full of plot twists, political drama, and shocking power moves. But before we begin, we have a special announcement. This list was supposed to have only 15 names, but we made it 16. Why? Because one of them is at serious risk of losing everything. If she falls, she won't just drop in rankings. She'll be erased from the list altogether. Who is she? Let's find out. How we built this list. Ranking these individuals felt like solving a puzzle with missing pieces. So many contenders, all deserving, all influential in their own way. Some work behind the scenes, quietly pulling the strings. Others are in the spotlight, shaping policies, economies, academicians, and even the daily lives of ordinary Filipinos. But, in the end, only 15 made the cut. To make this ranking fair and objective, we used a weighted criteria system. Yes, like a real research study, but way more exciting. Each individual was evaluated based on 1. Political power, 30 points. Second, economic power, 25 points. Third, public influence, 20 points. Fourth, institutional control, 15 points. 5. Global influence, 10 points. After crunching the numbers, yes, we really did, we ranked the most powerful people in the country. We start with number 16 for now, because if things go south, one person might not be here the next time we update this list. And now, let's begin our countdown. 16. Maria Ressa, the Nobel laureate who challenges the powers that be. Maria Ressa may not hold political office or run a billion-dollar empire, but what she does have? Influence, international recognition, and the ability to make powerful people uncomfortable. A Nobel Peace Prize winner, she remains the face of press freedom in the Philippines, calling out corruption, disinformation, and the dangers of authoritarian rule. While she's no longer Rappler's CEO, her voice still carries weight both locally and globally, a power that can't be ignored. Her influence doesn't come from money or political allies. It comes from her fearless defiance. And in a world where information is power, Maria Ressa's words can still shake the system. 15. Manny Pacquiao. Still the people's champ. Still a mystery. Retired? Maybe. Out of politics? For now. Still one of the most respected names in the country and beyond? Absolutely. Manny Pacquiao isn't just a former senator. He's an 8-division boxing world champion, a legend whose name commands global respect. From presidents to billionaires, from Hollywood stars to world leaders, they all know Pacquiao. And let's not forget, he's still extremely wealthy. Multiple mansions, businesses, a lifestyle that makes you wonder, where does all the money keep coming from? Some say it's smart investments. Others joke that his billionaire fans from around the world just keep sending him gifts. Whatever the truth is, the man never seems to run out of cash. He may not be in public office anymore, but his influence in sports, politics, and philanthropy keeps him in the conversation. That's power. 14. Renato Solidum Jr., DOST Secretary. The man holding the key to the Philippines' future. If there's one department that separates progressive nations from struggling ones, it's science and technology. The U.S. dominates in tech and innovation. Japan, Germany, and South Korea built their economies on cutting-edge research. China, once a developing country, aggressively invested in science and tech, and now they're a global superpower. And in the Philippines, the man leading this crucial sector is Renato Solidum Jr., Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, DOST. He decides where the research budget goes. He oversees technological development, disaster preparedness, and even the country's space program. His power isn't loud or flashy, but it's the kind of influence that determines whether the Philippines rises or gets left behind. 13. Arsenio Balisacan, the architect of the Philippines' economic future. As the current Socio-Economic Planning Secretary, Arsenio Balisacan holds the keys to the Philippines' growth and development. He's the man behind the National Economic and Development Authority, NEDA, where he shapes policies that affect the country's economy, agriculture, and infrastructure. His economic plans are critical to the government's efforts to combat poverty and elevate the nation's global standing. Balisacan's power is in his ability to guide the Philippines toward its economic goals, ensuring that progress is not just a dream, but a sustainable reality. 12. Juan Ponce Enrile, the political survivor who refuses to fade. Most politicians come and go. Juan Ponce Enrile, he outlasts them all. At 100 years old, he's still serving as the chief presidential legal counsel, proving that influence isn't about age. It's about strategy. He has advised multiple presidents, from Marcos Sr. to Marcos Jr. He survived countless political crises, including EDSA, coup attempts, and scandals. He understands the game of power better than almost anyone. Enrile's influence isn't loud. He doesn't need to be in the headlines daily. But behind the scenes, he remains a key figure in shaping government policies and political strategies. This man is living proof that real power never fades. It just gets wiser. 11. Ramon Tulfo, the media powerhouse who can make or break public figures. Power isn't just about politics or money. It's about controlling narratives. And if there's one man who knows how to shape public opinion, it's Ramon Tulfo. He's a veteran journalist and columnist with decades of influence. His name carries weight in media, politics, and law enforcement. His exposés have shaken corrupt officials and forced resignations. He is the most popular candidate for the 2028 presidential elections, consistently topping all surveys. Tulfo doesn't need a government position. His pen is his weapon. And in an age where the media can make or break careers, that kind of power is priceless. 10. The Gokongwei family, the retail and real estate titans who shape Filipino consumer life. From retail giants to a significant stake in real estate, the Gokongwei family's empire shapes the day-to-day lives of millions of Filipinos. Through Robinsons, the Gokongweis have a presence in almost every major city, with shopping malls, grocery stores, and more. What sets the Gokongweis apart is their forward-thinking approach to business and their constant expansion. Whether it's shopping, telecom, or energy, their empire touches every Filipino. 9. Enrique Razon Jr., the port king who controls Philippine trade. Enrique Razon is one of the most influential businessmen in the country. and his empire centers around one of the most crucial sectors: trade. As the head of International Container Terminal Services Incorporated, ICTSI, Razon controls the majority of the Philippines' ports, handling billions in imports and exports. He also has a stake in gaming, real estate, and energy, making him a key player across multiple industries. Razon's influence isn't just in his business dealings, it's in his control of the country's trade gateway. When he moves, the economy shifts. 8. The Ayala family, the dynasty that built modern Philippines. If you live in the Philippines, chances are you've set foot in an Ayala property. Whether it's Glorieta, Greenbelt, Ayala Malls, BGC, Makati CBD, or even a Bank of the Philippine Islands, BPI branch, the Ayala family has shaped the country's urban landscape. This family empire controls real estate, banking, telecommunications, and even water services. In business, power isn't just about wealth. It's about how many aspects of daily life you control. And the Ayalas? They influence where Filipinos live, work, shop, and invest their money. That's real power. 7. The Sai siblings, the family that redefined Filipino consumer culture. SM isn't just a mall, it's a way of life for Filipinos. From retail to banking, hotels, and real estate, the Sai family has built an empire so massive, its expansion rate is faster than the country's GDP growth. New SM malls pop up across the country faster than government projects. A new SM hotel chain is preparing for the 10 million international tourist projection by 2028. A massive SM mall in Iligan City is rumored to be the biggest in Mindanao when completed. For Filipinos, SM is everywhere. And when you dominate people's daily lives, that's power. 6. Ramon Ang, the infrastructure king and business genius. If you've driven on a major highway, filled up your car with gas, or flown out of Manila, chances are Ramon Ang had something to do with it. As the president of San Miguel Corporation, he's one of the country's biggest business moguls. But unlike other billionaires, Ramon Ang is openly working with the government to fast-track infrastructure projects. He's behind the new Manila International Airport project. He's improving expressways and transportation networks. His vision? To make the Philippines a world-class economy. And it's working. His efforts have earned him public admiration, and some groups are even urging him to run for president in 2028. From business to politics, his influence is only growing. 5. Eduardo Manalo, the leader of Iglesia ni Cristo, INC, the religious powerhouse. Eduardo Manalo may not run a business empire or hold a government office, but his influence spans millions of Filipinos across the globe. As the leader of the Iglesia ni Cristo, INC, one of the country's largest religious organizations, Manalo controls a vast voting bloc that plays a decisive role in national elections. His followers trust him to guide their faith and political choices. INC's endorsement can swing elections, making Manalo's influence a force to be reckoned with. In times of crisis, his messages carry weight, often serving as a moral compass for many Filipinos. Eduardo Manalo doesn't just lead a church, he leads a community with immense political power. 4. Manny Villar, the silent power broker. Manny Villar may not always be in the spotlight, but that's exactly what makes him so powerful. He's the richest man in the Philippines. He controls massive real estate developments across the country. He owns media outlets, including All TV, giving him influence over public perception. But here's the kicker. He has no mortal enemies in politics. Villar is known for his ability to mend political rivalries, influence major decisions, and stay connected with every administration, without making enemies. In a political landscape filled with wars, he's the rare billionaire who plays it smart. 3. Martin Romualdez, the president's right-hand man. Martin Romualdez isn't just Speaker of the House. He's also President Bongbong Marcos's most trusted cousin. A brilliant lawyer, Romualdez understands the legal and political landscape better than most politicians. Marcos Jr. listens to him, trusts his judgment, and sees him as a key strategist in maintaining control over Congress. Romualdez's true power lies in his ability to move legislation and shape policies in favor of the administration. He's not just an ally, he's a power broker. 2. Sara Duterte, the iron-willed vice president and the woman who might lose it all. Once seen as untouchable, the daughter of the kingmaker and the heir to a political dynasty that has dominated Philippine politics for years, Sara Duterte's position is now more precarious than ever. Her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, may no longer hold office, but his influence remains undeniable. As for Sara, she stands on a political precipice, and her power is increasingly at risk. Sara Duterte served as Vice President and former Secretary of Education, two high-ranking roles that gave her immense influence. But behind the scenes, the political ground beneath her is shifting. Her alliance with President Marcos Jr. is no longer as solid as it once was. She resigned from the Lakas CMD party, signaling a rift with Speaker Martin Romualdez. Her supporters still view her as the rightful heir to Duterte's legacy, but the cracks are beginning to show. And to make matters worse, an impeachment complaint against her has been approved, with a Senate trial set to begin soon. Make no mistake, Sara Duterte remains one of the most powerful figures in the country. But if she makes one wrong move, she could lose it all. If that happens, she could drop out of this Power 15 list. And in her place, Martin Romualdez would likely rise to become the second most powerful figure in the country, behind only Bongbong Marcos Jr. The question remains, is Sara still the heir to power, or is she on the verge of a dramatic fall? Only time will tell. But what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Number 1. Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., the most powerful man in the Philippines today. And finally, the man at the top. As President of the Philippines, Bongbong Marcos holds the highest position in the country. But his power isn't just about the title. He controls the government, the military, and the country's foreign relations. His policies impact every sector: economy, education, agriculture, infrastructure. His alliances with business tycoons, politicians, and foreign leaders determine the country's future. Despite challenges, economic hurdles, political rivalries, and international scrutiny, he remains the most powerful individual in the country. Love him or hate him, Bongbong Marcos is the man at the center of it all. So, what happens next? This year's list has been a battlefield of power plays, shifting alliances, and unseen threats. But in the ever-changing world of influence, one thing is certain: no one stays on top forever. Will Sara Duterte hold on to her influence, or is she standing on the edge of a political downfall? Will Ramon Ang's infrastructure empire cement his rise even further? Will Manny Villar remain the country's richest person, or will a new billionaire take the throne? And could a new power player shake up the entire game next year? Power is never permanent. Fortunes change. Alliances break. New giants emerge. And by next year, this ranking could look very, very different. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay in the loop, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more powerful, eye-opening stories that will keep you ahead of the game, inspired, and always in the know.